appreciate you being here. Did anyone happen to go to the banana peeling contest? Did you guys see that?
Crap, I forgot about it.
Seriously, that was today, so if anyone figures out what happened, or if we found it, it's a little suspicious that no one here went, right? That no one came back? I don't know. Like, to be for reals though, if anyone knows what happened, let me know. I'm genuinely curious. So my name is Cora. I am the president of IC Stand Up. And we have a really, really awesome show for you today. I'm really excited. We have a whole bunch of comedians that do really, really amazing work. Raise your hand if you saw our ad campaign for this show. Woo! Keep your hand raised if you saw it more than once. Keep your hand raised if it was kind of your whole feed of stories for a hot second there. Yeah, that's what we were going for. I love it. That means it worked. Awesome. So I'm glad you all joined us today. We're just going to get right into it and get started with our first comedian of the night. She's super, super funny, pioneers kind of humorous freebirths and that kind of really awesome stuff. Let's give it for Kaitlyn Coffey. Thank you. How are we doing tonight, Ithaca? Okay. That needs to be away from me. So I don't really like dating apps, and I talked to my straight man friends, and they're like, "Why don't you like dating apps? Like girls get all these messages and all these matches on dating apps." And the way I always describe it to my straight dude friends is when you're a woman, a heterosexual woman on a dating app, it's kind of like when you get those recruitment emails from the military. They go, "We want you." It's no, you don't want you. They don't want you. They want anyone who is willing to sacrifice their body so they can do terrible things to it. Yeah, so I wasn't on him for a while. I recently got back on. And guys, don't mean to alarm anybody, but when I was gone, something shifted. Russia has put chemicals into our water to make us have less shame and more sex drive, because there's no other logical explanation for what has been going on. Don't get me wrong, I'm still getting sexually harassed, don't get me wrong, but it's not the kind I'm used to. It's not Chad from Beta Kappa Sig, definitely from Connecticut, where's those zippos? It's not him. It's not him going, "What's up, shorty? Let me turn your pussy into a Chinese finger trap." It's not that. Because I can deal with that. What I can't deal with is Aiden with the septum piercing calling me mommy. Let me lay it out for you. I wake up in the morning. First thing I do, check Hinge. Because I'm secure in myself. And I see exactly 14 matches. One match is from a nice normal guy, and we will match back, and I will never message him because I'm too scared. Next, I'll have an invitation to a military ball, because that's the vibe I give off, apparently. Because I have a photo of me in a top hat shirt on my profile, but it's just because my butt looks big in it anyway. And then, I will have 12 messages from these -11 BMI, mid-ski listening, floppy-haired motherfuckers asking me to step on them. And I'm sick of it. Because it's they see some aspects of my personality. I have masculine, dominant aspects of my personality. I do comedy, I box, I weightlift, I produce, and they think that makes me this crazy dominatrix control lady. Nah, motherfucker, that makes me tired. Can you imagine, let me paint a picture. Can you imagine coming home to one of these guys? I just got a 3-hour fucking meeting. I got my keys in the door. I'm hanging up my jacket. Fuck, did I buy a frozen pizza so I can eat tonight? And then you just hear softly from the couch, "Mommy, step on me, mommy. Crush my balls, mommy. Put a grape in your ass, maybe suck it out, mommy." It's I just got out of a meeting. The best I can do is a wet willy. A real wet one though, I'll really put that effort in. And I'm a busy bitch. So I gotta be efficient and tactical in every aspect of my life. I'm an efficient and tactical sex haver. 3 hours of the best sex I ever had is 3 hours I could have been on Outlook answering emails. which is why I do not understand pegging. Because pegging is the least efficient thing you could ever do. Millions of dollars and hours of time in this country are lost every day to the pegging industry. And I'm the only one brave enough to talk about it. Because like hypothetically, like I've never pegged anyone, right? But like hypothetically though, like this is how I imagine it would go, right? Because it's like, okay, first you gotta drive to the sex store, right? And then it's like, you gotta pick out the dildo, you know, we gotta consider like color and like shape and size, and like is your partner like, hypothetically though, like is your partner like allergic to rubber, because then you don't want them to have a reaction, and like, okay, so we get the right one, that's fine. And then you gotta pick out the harness, but they don't hypothetically, they don't let you put it on in the sex store, so you have to drive all the way back home, just spitballing here, and try it on, and then like, it like doesn't fit because like your butt got too big from those exercises, hypothetically. And you gotta drive all the way back to the store, and that bitch Doris at the front desk, looking like dollar store Hillary Clinton, telling you, oh, you can't return it, even though that same bitch told you you can return it, even though you kept the receipt. Hypothetically. All so you can give David from Vermont 45 minutes of pegging pleasure. Hypothetically, though. Alright, that's it.
What a way to start. Going right in with the pegging. I love it. Oh, that was great. Let's keep it going with our next comedian, who is also super, super talented. Very excited to have them. Sydney! Hello, everybody. How are we doing today? That's nice. So I've been having some very not serious health issues recently. You know, things like fatigue, muscle pain, nausea, all that shit that will just prompt your doctor to ask if you're pregnant. Since I was like 16, it doesn't matter what symptoms I have. The first thing she asks is always, any chance you might be pregnant? And I'm like, I don't know, but my wrist is broken. Like, how do you think I... Never mind, that's a fair question. Any chance you're pregnant? Bitch, you prescribed my birth control, you tell me. I don't know what's in that shit, I just know that at 10:30 p.m. every night a little alarm goes off on my phone announcing to the world that I am safe to fuck. Anyway, after my snarky comments, the doctor took my blood, not because I had anything wrong with, not because of any medical reason, she was just annoyed with me. Normally my veins are very visible, but that day they were real hard to find. And then she runs a bunch of tests, and then she doesn't call me for 2 weeks. And let me tell you, when your doctor's testing you for every illness under the sun, some of which are life-threatening, the phrase ghosting does have a holy weight to it. But then she did call me eventually, and she's like, she sounds very nervous. She's like, hey, I was like to chat. I'm like, oh, so you're calling me to ghost me? That's a new one. That's a low blow. But she really takes her sweet time getting to the point. She starts off and she's like, so, first off, you don't have Lyme's disease. Cool. You tested me for breast cancer this morning, but Lyme's disease, yeah, that's the top concern. But then she's like, yeah, your thyroid's fine, blood cell count, plague, polio, all that. I'm like, cool, good to know I survived the 1500s. But there is one thing I'm worried about. You wanna know what it was? Too bad, I'm gonna leave you in suspense. Just like my doctor did to me. But anyway, while I was waiting for my doctor to get to the fucking point, I did get dumped. Yeah. It was actually a very similar conversation. He calls me and he's like, hey, do you have a second to chat? And I'm like, yeah. And then he comes over and he's like, well, first off, I didn't cheat on you. Awesome. Great. It's like, I do think you're attractive. Real charm of this one, real catch. It's nothing you said, it's nothing you did, I just don't think I like you that much. Thank God, honestly. You know, I really thought he was going to tell me I had Lyme's disease. He really should have led with that. I mean, come on. But no, I was handling the breakup well, despite what my fellow members of Poetry Club might tell you. By handling all, I mean writing jokes so his friends can come laugh at me at a show. Hi friends, how's it going? Yeah, but no, I was handling it well. That is, of course, until my doctor called me to inform me that I had a vitamin D deficiency. I was like, ah. So the opposite of being pregnant. Interesting. And then she's like, no, your levels are like really low. Like they're like some of the lowest I've ever seen. And Jesus Christ, it's been 4 days. Are you prescribing me a rebound right now? It's like I did that, but I used vitamin B. I thought that would have the same effect. Sorry, now I just have this image in my head of going to a pharmacy and being like, hey, I'm going to pick up a prescription. Or it's like, what's for? I'm like, I think it's Kyle? And then some frat bro in basketball shorts comes over the counter. And the pharmacist is like, ah, yes, Kyle. Some things to note about this prescription. We're aware it's a small dosage. And you might not feel like it's doing anything at all. But we promise you, that is how it's supposed to feel. Some side effects to worry about, though. They include things like being called the wrong name in bed. Actually missing your old medication more, because you definitely felt those effects. And of course, yet another, hey, guess like a chat, phone call. Except this one's just to tell you you have chlamydia. I'm just kidding, he would never call you to tell you. Do we have any Kyles in the audience by chance? Fuck, I was looking for a refill. Anyway, no, a guy named Kyle would only call you if you had Lyme's disease. That's what I got. Thank you guys.
That was awesome. Let's give it up one more time for Sydney. And we're going to keep it going. We have a few more performers in our first act here. We have someone new joining us as part of our club for the first time. So excited to have them. Let's bring it up, Therese.
Hello. So, oh yeah. Yeah. Do we got any Percy Jackson kids here? Don't you like my reference? Okay, so I live all the way up in Terraces. It's like a fine enough building, you know, like it's a long hike. And like, yeah, it ultimately is in this hellscape we like to call undergrad and into college, but you know, like other than that, I don't mind it too much. I do mind, however, being able to hear every fucking step, sneeze, and queef of everyone on my floor. That's always the joke people say about college dorms. People say, oh, the walls are paper thin. I would always be like, maybe you're just fucking loud. I don't really think I have the room to judge someone for being loud, though. You know, I'm from Long Island, so I was assigned annoying at birth. But I really must have, like, pissed off God or got some, like, weird karmic reckoning or something, because my neighbor plays the loudest music imaginable. All day. Every day. Morning, noon, night. I'm hearing subwoofer through the wall. You don't got class till 12 p.m.? Too bad. Up at 9. Whoa. You want to go to sleep early because you have a 7:30 a.m. shift? Too bad. 1 a.m. You want to have sex without music? We can't have that. My man got you covered. I can't really hear what he's playing through the wall, but I can hear the muffled sounds, so... He's not only a menace, like, just, like, blasting it a little bit. I wouldn't really mind that, but he's also a SoundCloud rapper. Yay. No hate to SoundCloud rappers if there's any in the audience. I respect the effort. I really do. And I really respect your art and your confidence to post online. My only gripe is, if you're gonna do that, and if you're gonna blast it through a shared wall at 8 p.m. when I have a test the next day, I just need you to have like one good bar. Just one. So like sometimes I hear like beats through the wall, and that doesn't bother me too much. I too am an artist. You could say I make beats. For my electroacoustic music class, I blew into an empty PBR bottle and then recited poetry over loop, so you can say I'm a modern day Mozart. My real problem lies in lyrics, or the repetition of said lyrics. One day I was sitting at my desk, very casually listening to the beats, you know, and over it he kept going, I thought you were my lover. I thought you were my lover. I thought you were my lover, then what? Who am I to you? Who are you to me? Who are we to each other? So now I'm having a identity crisis at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday, which is like the worst and most inconvenient time, by the way. Like, I didn't get to put it in my Google Calendar. My ex-roommate had issues with the music too, but she didn't have the same like suffer in silence approach that I inherited from my mother. If the music started playing and she caught us in a bad mood that day, you would get the friendly reminder of our presence with a good old on the wall. It wasn't super effective. I was complaining to this about the shared struggle to this girl who lives on my floor, and she told me that she has sex louder to drown it out, like loud. And after she told me that, I was on his side. I think you're the problem, Dave. Maybe the music was in preparation, you know? Like, maybe he could sniff the air like a greyhound and sense it and be like, someone's coming. While I'm on the topic though, I'm worried that the constant SoundCloud rap is gonna make it's gonna Pavlov my boyfriend in like a strange way. Like he's gonna hear someone playing like Lil Uzi and he'll get like the weird urge to call me. Or like he'll hear the intro to a Juice WRLD song and start like foaming at the mouth. I don't know. I'm just really hoping he doesn't start needing Ski Mask and Slump God to get hard.
I love it. And for someone's first, big performance, that's awesome, right? Let's give it And immediately to follow, we have another new performer with us, another new member of IC Stand-Ups. So excited for you to meet them too. Let's give it up for Will!
Hello!
Hello!
Hey.
Hey, Will.
Hey, how's it going, everyone? Oh, look, I'm bullying myself. Okay, so I turned 16 in the year 2020, right? In the middle of a global pandemic, which means I learned to drive on Zoom. And because Zoom is the educational equivalent of a fucking Dementor, I am a terrible driver. I used to think I was a good driver, much like every other single other driver to ever exist. And the reason I thought this is because I've never been in a crash. But then I realized that's a lot like me thinking I'm living a really healthy lifestyle because I'm not dead yet. I had to face the music. Sometimes I'll pull up to fast food pickup windows so far away, I'll just have to give up. Like my entire torso will be like leaning out of the carpet, and I'll look like God in that painting of like God and Adam in the Sistine Chapel, you know? I'll just be like that, I'll just give up. Just keep it. So yeah, I'm a terrible driver. But if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I absolutely love it. I love being a terrible driver. And the reason is, I believe every single person on this earth has a little part of them that loves the feeling of making other people miserable, right? When you're a bad driver, you get to experience this feeling in its purest, rawest, most concentrated form. It's like heroin. Every time I'm on the road and I see another driver, I know that I, at the very least, have the power to absolutely ruin their day. One of my favorite things in life is parallel parking on like a street parking spot when there's only one lane of traffic. And I know I'm about to create like 40 minutes of traffic while I try to get to the parking spot and ultimately fail. Sometimes, if I manage to get into the spot, I'll immediately just get out again. I love being a terrible driver. I love it so much. People tell me all the time, like, Will, that must be terrifying, you know? If you're a dangerous driver, you're not only a danger to others, you're a danger to yourself. But, I mean, I can't explain it, but the thrill of ruining other people's lives far outweighs the fear of ruining my own. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, I never used to understand, like, suicide bombers. I totally get it. I have a question for you guys. Who do you think ate the first pineapple? I can't imagine eating a pineapple without the prior knowledge that it's edible. I mean, have you ever seen a pineapple? That shit does not look like food. Pineapples look like they were designed to be launched out of a fucking trebuchet. They do not look like something you should be putting in your mouth, right? In caveman times, you must have feared the pineapple, right? You must have had to sacrifice shit to the gods for the sole purpose of being protected from the pineapple. And then one day, some dude, some hero, took a look at a pineapple and said to himself, I bet that tastes good. And proceeded to change history forever, right? He walked up, he picked up the pineapple, he took a bite. He's like, God, this is really good. And no one believed in her. He's like, no, you gotta try it. And this man becomes an instant prehistoric legend. He must have been one of the most famous people in his tribe, you know? He was super popular. All the women wanted him. They're all like, oh, Pine. His name's Pine, right? That's what the pineapple got his name, right? Some father was telling his son the story of Pine. He was holding an apple. He's like, son, do you see this? This is some normal, boring apple we've always eaten. But do you see that? That is Pine's apple. They later dropped the S in apostrophe. Pine must have gotten a little ahead of himself after this, you know? He wanted to recreate his early success. He wanted lightning to strike twice. So he must have like gone around eating a bunch of like random dangerous shit, hoping that it would taste good. Like people always had to make sure someone had an eye on Pine, so they could tell him like, no, Pine, don't eat fire. It's not going to taste good. Pine's always like, no, come on. I have a feeling for this sort of stuff. Do you remember pineapple? Do you remember pineapple? That was me. I did that. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. As time went on and Pine failed to find his new food, people started to doubt, you know? There started to be naysayers. People say it was a fluke, a lucky break that pineapples managed to taste good. He proved them all wrong. Pine proved those naysayers wrong. They should have never doubted him. They should have known he had one less trick up his sleeve. Because what did he find one day while walking alone in the woods? That's right, a beehive. He's like, I bet the inside of that tastes real good. And he proceeded to change history again. Thank you.
I love it. I love it. You come to a comedy show and you learn something. All right, I'm going to call another comedian to the stage. I also got to love him a lot. Let's give it up for Jess Williams!
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Jess.
Hello. I was going to say, everyone rate your day out of 10 right now.
10. 1.
Whoa! That's a day you'll remember. Jesus. A 10 out of, okay, my day was kind of, wait, is that hand up?
No, it's 5.
Oh, 5. My day was a bit lower on the scale. Started off pretty bad. I have this literature class. We're all doing presentations on James Joyce's The Dead. Are you in this class? Yes. Yeah. So we're up there. We choose an essay to read by like this professional, whatever, and we have to summarize what they're saying about this short story. Everyone's going up there like, oh yeah, the snow in The Dead, it's like a symbol for like Gabriel's like paralysis and confusion in social situations. And of course, I have the Freudian analysis of it, so I have to go up there and be like, so the snow represents his cum. Shouldn't have chose that last. I feel like I always kind of get the worst luck in these situations. You guys remember those debates you had to do in like middle school, in like history class? You had to argue with your classmates about whether or not European colonization was like based or cringe. My history teacher was actually a genius. He put the two whitest kids in the class on the pro-colonization side. So it was me and the British exchange student. So each side had to would have like 3 main points, and our opponents were like, okay, slavery, genocide, culture death. And we were like, well, at least they stopped doing it eventually. And my teacher would be like, no, they didn't. Like, oh, fuck. And my friend would be like, oh, bollocks. Eventually the class ended, my teacher was like, I think we all learned a valuable lesson today about colonization. And yeah, we did. I think there's no better way to teach people about the horrors of imperialization than making 2 15-year-olds try and defend it. Alright, so I know this is Ithaca College, so we're all introverts here. Any of you guys like small talk? Any small talk fans?
Yes!
Okay, it's paralyzing. It's awful. But here's the thing. You're all getting it wrong. Small talk is an art form. Hear me out. Something you have to really master. And often, it'll be so useless and unimpactful, but sometimes you'll get some small talk that really changes your life. This happened to me a few months ago. Alright, picture this. Day after Thanksgiving. Alright? I was at the Taco Bell drive-thru because I'm disgusting. And I order a cheese quesadilla because I'm a 5-year-old. And they were extremely understaffed because of the day after Thanksgiving. So I sat there waiting for my quesadilla for a full 10 minutes. And this woman at the window, me and her, we were just sitting in silence. And 10 minutes pass, and then she starts talking to me. Horrifying. She asked me how my Thanksgiving was. Worst case scenario. I say, it was okay. Usually the option that gives you the shortest possible dialogue tree. But no, she presses onward. Aren't you going to ask me what my Thanksgiving was? This is when I started to feel a bit bad for her. She has to work the day after Thanksgiving in an understaffed Taco Bell for probably some ungodly amount of hours, and I'm over here treating her like an NPC. So I bite. Oh, sorry. How was your Thanksgiving? She smiles at this pitiful gesture, and I smile back. It was a beautiful moment. There we were, 2 humans making an earnest connection. Despite us being absolute strangers, we'll never see each other again. That's when she responded with the sentence I don't think I ever expected to hear ever in my life. Yeah, my Thanksgiving was okay. My son taped his hamster to the ceiling fan and then it died. I said, what? She's like, yeah, we didn't know it was up there until it fell down onto the table while we were eating. I said, hold up. So your son taped his hamster onto the ceiling fan and left it there until it fell from the fan while you're eating Thanksgiving dinner? Yeah, I feel kind of bad for the hamster, but mostly I'm just worried about my son. And I asked her, how old is your son? And she said, 14. I said, wow. And I kind of scared her, giving her a look that you could only achieve after being told by a Taco Bell employee that their 14-year-old just committed hamster homicide at Thanksgiving dinner. And then I sighed, as if to say, I am very sorry for your hamster, but your son might legitimately need some sort of psychological intervention. And then she gave me a look of acknowledgement and handed me my case and I drove off. I've never been the same since. Thank you, everyone.
That was a roller coaster, start to finish. All right, so we have one more comedian in our first act here. However, before I call them up, I do want to basically spell out one more time. As soon as they're finished, we're gonna go to a brief intermission. It's gonna be like 5 to 7 minutes. We'll flash the lights, that kind of stuff, to let you know when we're ending, so everyone can see it again. And we will still have some tickets for sale. So you can buy those if you want to see Nikki Glazer. She's really talented, and she's coming next week on Friday. So if you want a super cheap ticket, it is $3 for 2 entries to win. Yeah, we have one more comedian, and then immediately following her, we are going to pull 1 ticket. So 1 person will win right up front, and then we will pull 5 more at the end of the show. Also want to mention that the proceeds from our ticket sales, half will be going towards comedy community funds, and the other half will be going towards Humorous for Uterus funds, which is a comedy event that supports access to reproductive health care. Really good stuff, good cause. So if you have $3 and you kind of want to go to a comedy show, great opportunity in the back of the room. Without further ado, let's call up Olivia Stemp.
It's a little intimidating. There's a lot of you, more than expected. I'm scared to go to LA because I don't think I'll fit in there. I know this because I've lived with my sister, who makes TikToks while in the security line at the airport. Living with her is like microdosing what living in LA would be like. I'm more of a New York person. In New York, it's socially acceptable to push past someone at the grocery store. But in LA, you'd have to wait for them to finish setting up their tripod in front of the salad section so they can film themselves picking up kale for their Clean Girl Sunday reset video. Which is all like this curated internet facade. Like, yes, Emma, you use expensive serums and you only eat unprocessed food, but you also do coke. I feel like LA is the breeding ground of all these new sub-aesthetics. I saw a video the other day that was like, get ready with me as a coconut girl. What is a coconut girl? Just get dressed. For the love of God. I know that man is tired. And I know he's tired, especially after seeing how LA worships. Like in LA, I'm sure instead of denominations, there's a church for A-list celebrities, a church for influencers, and a church for vegans. Like the vegan church, instead of wine, they would use green juice. Like, this is the acid reflux of Christ burped up for you. Don't worry, the body of Christ's options are keto and gluten-free. And like, if you've ever been to church, you know, like, J-Dog was never delectable. But I feel like making him gluten-free is not helping the case. I know it would be like a holy building, but it sounds like my own personal hell. Christianity and vegans. Are there any vegans out there?
Sorry.
I'm not seeing a lot of hands, although you're probably too weak to raise them. I feel the same way about vegans as the dudes who aren't homophobic but don't want a gay son. Like, I'm fine with it until it affects me personally. I'd be fine if my kid was gay. I'd actually prefer it. But if my daughter sat down at the dinner table and chomped on a cucumber while the rest of us ate chicken, we're gonna have an issue. I think I'd kick her out. I'd send her upstairs to get her shit, pack it all up, and give the cucumber back to my gay son so he can use it the way God intended. I tell my daughter to come home when she's converted from a vegetarian to a vegetarian. Don't worry, I'm allowed to make that joke. I am queer, even if you can't tell by looking at me. I thought coming out as bi would be like a big deal, but I've had to do it over and over about like 80 or so times. Every 5th business day, I seem to make like a satirical homophobic joke to one of my friends, and then one of the like clearly visible ones hears me, and I'm like, fuck, blue-haired bitch, I gotta re-explain myself. Don't worry, I'm one of you. I know I'm wearing Lululemon. We do exist. Not all of us are Ellen. Yeah, no, it's common for feminine people to have to like explain. I feel like it's not the same for dudes though. Like if dudes wear Birkenstocks,
the media, there'll be an article come next morning like speculating on if they're gay. But women can have their whole fists inside a vagina at Whole Foods. And unless one of them was wearing a backwards hat and had a carabiner slipped to their jeans, you just think they were besties. I remember when I came out to my parents, and they were accepting, so I thought I would push my luck and say I also no longer wanted to go to church, which they did not accept. Like, they were fine with abnormal, as my dad calls it, but they drew the line at atheists. You know, I remember one of my confirmation classes, the pastor was giving a mini lesson on proper love and asked us how we view queer and lesbian relationships. And apparently, on a private browser in HD was not a good answer. Alright, that's all I got.
Got it.
Alright, as promised, before I let y'all go to the bathroom, do whatever you gotta do, fill out the Park School of Communications, we are going to very quickly switch over computers here and raffle off one of our tickets. So if you bought one of those, thank you so much, and you may be seeing Nikki Glazer next Friday. Give me 1 second, we get that set up, and then I'll let you go. All right, we